What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today we got our first little update for Black Ops 6, and with this came with a bunch of stability improvements as well as a few key changes, especially to XP. And these are changes that directly affect the video I made earlier, sharing some of the best strategies that you can use to maximize your XP gains. So diving right in, the first thing that's quite nice to see, this has been a minor frustration in my experience so far, with your loadouts. When you're in-game and you open up your loadout menu, up until now it would always display the top loadout on the top of your screen, and not the loadout that was most recently selected, which is typically the loadout that you're currently using. And that was just kind of annoying, because oftentimes as you're unlocking attachments mid-game, you want to pop those attachments on. So you open up your loadout menu, expecting that it would be hovering over the loadout that you're currently using, and that wasn't the case. You had to scroll down, find your loadout, and then edit from there. So it's nice to see they've taken care of that. Next, there's just an issue with Bailey's animation in the operator's menu. That was fixed. The mute licensed music setting will now function properly, and that's nice to see as a content creator. Then for maps, on Babylon, Lowtown, and Red Card, all of these had an exploit that allowed players to get outside of the intended play space, and those ones have now been fixed. And they also mentioned they improved stability on Red Card, which is nice to see. And then on top of that, speaking of stability on maps, they address an issue with stability when using in-game interacts, like zip lines, for instance. Now for game modes, they actually increased the amount of player XP and weapon XP that you can earn in Team Deathmatch, Control, Search and Destroy, and Gunfight. So those should all be at least a little bit more viable now, and especially with like Team Deathmatch, it should hopefully be keeping up more with the objective game modes if you're playing that and trying to level up quickly. And they also included just a little note here saying they're closely monitoring XP rates for all modes to ensure players are progressing as expected whenever they play. So from the sounds of it, it seems like more adjustments to this may be coming down the road as well, if they find any big discrepancies. At the end of the day, I would still recommend Hardpoint and Domination. Those still seem to be really solid modes for getting player XP. And then for weapon XP, it does appear Face-Off is your best bet, just because there's more potential for more kills in a shorter period of time. But I will have a video coming in the not too distant future talking about how to get the best weapon XP rates. Then for the next section, with matchmaking, they address an issue that was occasionally preventing matches from quickly finding a replacement player in the case that another player quit the match. And that was something I was experiencing a lot yesterday, especially. It was really frustrating. I'd have a few teammates leave the game and it just wouldn't fill those spots. So now it's like 6v4 or 6v3, and then the rest of that game just sucks for you, obviously. Then for the firing range, players can now select the loadout in the firing range regardless of level progression. In private matches, it will no longer forfeit the match if there's only one player in that match, and this is huge for me. I've really been getting frustrated with this because I have been doing a lot of testing on the back end, and unless I have multiple accounts or add a bot to the custom game, it would just forfeit that match within 20 seconds. So that was definitely annoying, and I'm glad they've taken care of that one. For theater mode, they just mentioned they improved the performance a little bit when watching clips. For the training course, they've improved stability. And then for the big thing that changed today, I'd say one of the most important things that changed that directly affects the video I made earlier today. With the decoy, you no longer gain any XP for decoys. Previously, you would get 25 XP for every decoy assist. So if you just spam decoys out in the general direction of where the enemies were, anytime anybody on your team got a kill against a player within a general range of that decoy, now after this update, you get 0 XP, which is a bit annoying. I can understand maybe wanting to tune this back a little bit, and I think reducing that down to like 10 or 15 XP would be more reasonable, because 25 was quite a bit. But the fact that they removed that XP entirely is largely just going to make decoys useless. I don't think we're going to be seeing many people use decoys from this point on. After that, they addressed a stability issue with the smoke grenade. Then for score streaks, they addressed an issue where incoming missile sounds from the Dreadnought would continuously play. I have yet to see a Dreadnought in-game, so I haven't noticed this one yet, but it's good to see they're taking care of bugs this quickly. For medals, the Ace medal was being incorrectly awarded during certain conditions, and I believe that's a Dark Ops challenge as well. So apparently people were earning that when they shouldn't have been earning that one. Then when it comes to player progression levels, they were showing incorrectly on the scoreboard. A lot of times you would just see everybody, or at least most players in the lobby, looked like they were level 1, but they actually weren't level 1. That has apparently been fixed with this update. There was also a similar bug I ran into a few times where your level would show different from what your actual level was in some of the menus. Again, it looks like they have resolved that one, and then they just mentioned they improved stability in general in the main menus. And there we go, that's pretty much it. Just a quick update today. Wanted to make sure you guys were updated with this, primarily with that decoy change, because that is significant, and it does change the video that I just uploaded today. It's a bit unfortunate it happened so quickly, but feel free to take those decoys off. You're no longer gaining any XP from them. And with that, I'm just curious to hear from you guys in those comments down below. How are you guys feeling about these adjustments that they're making with this first little update? Especially with that decoy grenade. Do you guys think that they shouldn't reward any XP whatsoever? Or do you think it would have been more reasonable to just drop the XP rates down a little bit for using decoy grenades? Just let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.